Okay, I think we're ready to go.
Okay, we should call the meeting. It is 7:02. Welcome, everyone. There is no one from the public here, so we're not gonna have public comment. We need to approve the July 20 minutes that Patrick sent around today and that Dan sent around again.
Is it August?
August. Okay. It says July on the. Does it not say July on the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, but they are August
Oh.
minutes.
Once it's August. Yep, mine
No,
is.
on the agenda, it says July.
Mistake.
That's okay. There was one thing I saw that just was a strange. Under the Friends report, it says me Osowski. Not Ms. Osowski.
Got it.
That's just a typo. That was the only thing I saw.
Me, Osowski. And it's gave a report instead of having.
Probably. Yes, did you get that, Patrick?
I did. Thank you. Ms. Osowski, that's the typo.
If there was, she gave a report, not have a report.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And I think that's everything. Anyone else have any adjustment? Okay, can we have a motion to accept the minutes as amended? I make the motion. Second? Second. Allison seconding. All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of the bills, so that's the final cap. Everything looks straightforward. We did, Kiri and I approved a couple of purchases. Are they on this or is that next?
No, that's next.
Okay. Let's see the next one. This all looks straightforward. Any questions anybody have? No. Looks good to me. Can someone make the motion to accept the cap?
I can make the motion to accept 240917F for $16,192.65.
We have a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. Financials, were there any questions, comments on the financial report? Everything looks good, we're moving right along to the end of the year.
I had a question,
Okay.
and this is a very bizarre financial question. Is it possible to take any lump sum of money that we have and put it in a CD? Ted says yes.
Definitely. They're usually 3 months or 6 months. I think 6 months are getting the best return right
6 months at like 6.5%.
now. If
Ted,
it could change tomorrow.
It can change tomorrow, but it's been trending up.
Right.
And given the discussion that we were gonna have a higher personnel budget. At one point, we had discussed that. I don't know, it changed a couple of times. I wonder if it would benefit us to put a number, some amount into a CD that we don't necessarily need immediately.
Well, we do hold. Ted, what were you gonna say?
I think it's a good idea. But I would make a suggestion that we put it in a different bank.
Yes. I agree with that.
And would like to get the total amount of money that we have in the Bank of Millbrook below $250,000. Just so that we have FDIC full coverage.
Right.
Mm.
That's a very good point. Okay, so we can do a little research, or I can do it maybe tomorrow and look around. Do we want to set a number today that we would like to, we have, I mean, looking at the balances, we've got total reserve funds of 174,000. That's not all designated funds. Designated aren't all locked in to reserve, correct? Or some of them are grants. Oh, I mean,
Well, the grants are not
reserved,
locked in. They're
right?
just sitting there.
Okay.
Okay. If I can make a suggestion to you is that perhaps you and I and or subcommittee just maybe sit down and just look at it,
Okay.
because you have the Bank of Millbrook has to have the money that Jerry Chesney allocated when the Masons closed, and that has to stay in the Bank of Millbrook.
Okay. Okay. I would, yeah, we could do that. We can, this week actually looks like crap for me, the rest of the week.
So why not use the Bank of Millbrook?
FDIC covers 250,000. So if we have over the 250.
I would just be cautious from a community perspective standpoint if we move to like a large like Chase Bank or something like that. Just
Oh,
if they just know if all of a sudden we're pulling our money from like the local Pine Plains Bank and putting it in like somewhere that's not as local. I know it might be the best financial decision to make, but from a community perspective, all of a sudden the community just approved to fund the library and then the library's taking the money away from Bank of Millbrook. I would just be cautious of that. We keep it where I work, we keep all of our money at the Bank of Millbrook for that specific reason. As a nonprofit in the area, we just feel like it's a better community. It's a better look for us and it's a better way to support the community by having money here as opposed to putting it somewhere else. So just something to think about if we do go there. And I completely support it. I do the same thing. I have CDs. I wouldn't put all of it in one CD. I would say 50,000 in one, a month later, 50,000 in another one.
Right.
So that way they mature at different rates.
Right.
So that way, you know, within the next 3 months, you're gonna have $100,000 available. You don't have to wait for the whole 200, you know, or whatever you put in.
Right.
So, that would be my other suggestion for it. And it's easy, the Bank of Millbrook does make it extremely easy to pull the money if you need to at any point. So.
Yeah, most banks have an exit clause. Yeah, I don't care for Chase, you know, but there's the other,
There's-
M&T and.
Yeah,
And
the
Key
Salisbury.
Banker and, yeah,
That's true.
Salisbury's and.
Bank of Greene County, Hudson
Yeah.
Valley Federal
I
Credit
would
Union.
almost
I'm
rather,
inclined
I'd
to
almost go
agree.
with
Yeah.
Bank of Greene County
Yeah.
at this point, would be a good second choice.
And look at
Rather
what they're
than Wells
right now.
Fargo or.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the bigger, if we're going with some large national bank, that would be kind of the.
I care less about the look. I get what you're saying. But the local, so I was shopping around for myself and it seems like the local banks have a better rate anyway.
Yeah.
Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union
Mhm.
being the highest that I've
Yeah.
seen.
They're usually
Recently.
better, yeah,
So, and they're local, so it's a win-win.
then that's great, yeah.
Okay,
There is a precedence because the library at one time did deal with Citizens Bank.
okay.
So we have done it in the past.
And I didn't look through the financials enough to try to pull a number out, because that's not my headspace, but as much as we could put in
Yeah.
right now.
Even if you
It's
just
my
give
opinion.
50,000 now, just to start it and get it there.
Yeah.
But it makes sense when you have a large amount, and then look at it at the beginning of the year and look at where your budget's going and see. If you can, in
When-
January or when we get the tax money in, like
April.
April, so in April, if we put, a big chunk in and then it's
It matures.
matures before the end of the year, so it might be.
Sure, okay.
And even the same, I don't know if we legally can do that with like grant money that we receive. We have $44,000 sitting. with
We're
that.
not gonna touch the grant money.
No.
You can't do
The
it.
grant money we use as we go along.
And, yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, we'll pick a day where we can sit down, Ted, and maybe Allison, you wanna,
Yeah.
we'll see if we can get the three of us together or four of us together, and we can figure that out.
Who's gonna organize it?
Me and or Deanne will organize it.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports.
Do we have a second?
I'll
Sandy
second.
seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I got no report. Summer is the summer has sucked, so yeah, let me just we do have to move on. Ethan, we didn't all pick a time, so I'd love to sit down and talk to you about the stuff you discovered and I don't know when Kiri's back, but we should really do that. My husband ended up in the hospital for Labor Day weekend, so I didn't follow up.
Okay,
Okay, so we'll move on, chime in other places, I think. Jean, do you have?
Well, we had our September meeting and we decided to continue doing the little mini book sale at the Ag Fair, so we're bring over a few books and have a presence there.
I think that's a good.
That's really good.
We'll have a table right next to you. We're gonna have a little, we'll just be putting little, I think we got tattoos, that you, little farm animal tattoos. It's
Hopefully you can get some kids, I know, so Eleanor can't come to the kids club the next 3 weeks or
Oh.
some of the days because she's showing in Cal for Ag Fair. And then she's excited for when Ag Fair is done, so she can come back to the library. So if you promote that, you might get a few more kids to sign up who are there and yeah.
Have we been maxing out or?
I'm not
still
making
no?
it, that's good. I'll have my report.
Yes. Is there anything else or that's it, Jean's? You're up.
Okay. We had our first kids club yesterday, our second kids club today. We had, thank goodness Eleanor showed up yesterday. And she got to do whatever she wanted to. And then today we had our art teacher come in, Jeremiah Jones, and we ended up having 5 kids show up. So that was good. And they used this table. We had all spread out. They were doing art here. And I think it went real well. We're getting calls from people who were we're hoping that we would be able to provide transportation from the school to the library, but we can't, so. They'll either not be able to come or they'll have to make other arrangements, but. We did get flyers out to the schools and hopefully word of mouth. I think this week, things are still settling out at school, so hopefully in the next few weeks we'll get some more attendance. But I was happy with five kids, we were full here.
And the reason you're not offering the transportation just because it was Molly who was
Well,
gonna go and do it.
I'll go into that, but there is no way to legally cross the street.
Oh, because there's no crosswalk.
Crosswalk. There's no crosswalk in front of the elementary school and there's no crosswalk here. And you
There's a
cannot.
crosswalk. There is
one in front of them.
At the elementary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but there's not one here, so
Yeah.
right, you can't get them around, so anyway. And I spoke with Janine this morning, or this afternoon about that, she came by and I said, we would love to have a crosswalk in front here, so that we could get kids, they could walk if they wanted to themselves, in fact, but. She'll bring it up, she said, and then,
Is there a way to speak to is there any precedent to talk to the bus garage and dropping kids off?
The other thought that I had too, but I was told that they can't ride a different bus than their normal bus. And so if their normal bus is dropping them off at a different location, but you could call and ask.
so what I did was, they would have to, I think Molly started trying to arrange this. They would have to bring a note every day to say that they were gonna be on this other bus or what, and it was, but that was if there was a bus available, and as far as I know, there's not a bus available. I'm gonna try to call
There's no
again.
drivers. available.
Right, they're having trouble with that, so I will, I was told today to call because there's been some personnel changes there. Maybe since last week, I don't know, I emailed them a couple weeks ago, but, that would be the optimum thing, but I don't hold that much hope for that. So they'll have to drop them by.
When did it become illegal to cross another person?
I don't know.
I've been doing it for a long time.
I
I used to walk my kindergarten class here.
Yeah, right. Right, and they can't walk, so,
Yeah,
so,
I guess this road maybe is a little bigger than the direction the
Yeah, they're
campus is
coming
going.
yeah, they're coming from.
I mean, we tried to get a crosswalk in the past.
Oh, yeah, no, and there, it comes up in conversation all the time. Are you going Thursday night?
Thursday nights are late night. I'm trying to get our personnel worked out so I can go to the meetings, but I have not been able to the last two times.
I think I can go.
I
I just have to remember.
I think I can go this week. So our new hours started, Mondays, people are surprised, but they're coming, so hopefully it'll fill in some more, but yeah, we are getting used, on Mondays are showing up. What else? Let's see, our English lessons, our summer reading completed, we had 170 reviews submitted, they're all on the.
And they're not all by me.
No. Although you gave it your best shot.
I did, I tried really hard.
That was a success. The kids, we had people come in the children would come in if they won the grand prize, but they didn't come in for the lower echelon prizes, and we need to make a better push next year that says, if you read 15 minutes, you get a lollipop or something like that. So we've made a note to do that. English lessons, Annie's had really good results with that. She is adding, this says Monday and it had been Monday, but we're changing it to Tuesday. There's another Tuesday evening class by popular demand starting next week. And there'll be
Sorry, did you say
different
did you say you're moving it to Tuesday or there'll be another one on Tuesday?
there'll be an additional one. We will have 3 English classes now. We'll have one on Tuesday evening, one on Wednesday morning, and one on Thursday evenings.
No Monday.
No
No
Monday.
Mondays.
Okay.
We tried Mondays and nobody could make it, so they're gonna come Tuesday.
Okay.
They more people.
And they're all unique groups or they're people who are going to multiple sessions?
There's people going to multiple sessions for the Tuesday and Thursday classes. The Wednesday classes have their own participants.
Okay.
So, yeah,
That's really awesome.
there's 2 of them coming. And I spoke with the or the English, I'm sorry, the Spanish teacher at the high school contacted me today. She's not going to be able to have a relationship with this group as she had hoped. She's going on maternity leave.
Yeah.
And so I'm having to rework that. So we'll get back to that. We're gonna have to change what the cultural exchange that we had hoped to have. But I'm gonna still try to work it out.
What about the other Spanish teachers?
There's been some changeovers there. I don't know
Okay.
who it is. I don't know who's there anymore. So I'll have to find out. But that's on my list to find that out. That just popped up today, in fact. Okay, so Dungeons and Dragons is going well. We're meeting on Thursdays from 4 to 8. We got the spice library up. We've got, I think, 6 or 7 different kind of spices. I encourage you to try.
Are you actively trying to get different spices, or you're just sticking with these spices?
I'm sticking with, I don't have room.
Okay.
So I'm sticking with the 7 that I've got, and that fills up pretty nicely, and I'm just trying to get these to. We've got recipes, the girls have done a good job of putting up some little flyers with some recipes on and using them. And so I don't wanna get too big, I know Millerton has a huge, like, they're way stocked with spices, so
If
they
you want other spices, you have to go to Milton.
Your regular ones, you go to Millerton. Let's see, so the kids club's going well. Fiber Night starts on the 26th, from 6 to 8. And if anybody has some knitting, I'm getting some, like craft sets to bring in case somebody wants to try some different things, kumihime, excuse me. And then, we've got some string art and stuff, some macrame stuff. I'm getting some stuff in. If anybody has any extra crochet needles or knitting needles they want to donate or something, I'm really happy for that, or knit. There you go.
I'll look at my stuff. I haven't been doing much. Probably look on my hoard. I could ask Denise if she.
It's only if you need, I can go to the thrift stores and get some too, it's not a big deal. We're working on an adult scavenger hunt, and I'm not sure when that's gonna be ready, but it's the girls have come up with some fun things for adults to find. The children's scavenger hunt is wildly popular. I mean, we get kids in here, we have to change it a lot. We had a funny
Just to
situation
move
last.
around.
Yeah, well, we put fresh ones up, so we have total different themes, we changed the things, there was an emergency last week when this kid came, oh, I already done this one, so. They, three people went into high gear and got new things printed out, they found the theme and they hung them up.
What's the new theme?
Frog and Toad,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Frog and Toad. The tax
You almost
workshop,
gave one away, but.
I
no,
found 2 of those.
if you need hints, we have more. The business tax workshops is for new business owners or people thinking about going into business, and Nelson's giving those this Saturday and the following Saturday from 10 to 2 in the community center, if you know anybody who might benefit from that. It's pretty thorough, but what he's got, I have some flyers here if you want. For the Berkshire Taconic Legit Grant, we had our we had a workshop here tonight on choosing the right college, and we had someone come in with who helps kids apply for colleges,
Mhm.
helps them find the college that's a good fit for them. And we had 6 kids come, so that's good. We fed them pizza. We are not going to be able to extend the grant anymore. We have lost Molly. Molly has resigned, and so I've been taking over the youth programs. To that end, we're having a good, cheap and easy workshop next week. No, the 8th, excuse me, October 8th with Lenny, who's coming in to teach how to cook good meals for no money or very little money that are healthy and easy to cook. He will not do like a demonstration, but he will do a lecture on it. And participants will go home with a good and cheap cookbook, which is it's a good cookbook for kids or young people. So that's next time. I've got some other ideas, but I talked to Eileen today and she said we're not gonna be able to extend it past December 31st. So what she said we could do, if we haven't spent all the money, then we can just apply for it next year and not have this larger grant as we did this time, but take into account that we have leftover money, and so that it will equal the same amount of money as we had gotten last year. So we'll do that. Let's see.
Can we prepay for anything? Or,
I'm working on getting enough grant. I don't, you're not gonna be able to spend all of it if I come up with, excuse me, some way to. I don't know, something large. But I'm getting some books. The kids who came to today's workshop will be receiving some books on how to apply for college and Princeton reviews for the SAT and things like that. So that'll be, we'll be spending some money there. We'll spend some money on, actually, there's an art workshop I'm working on to help kids figure out how to make art that will sell at craft fairs. So like $20 is your price point. How do you make art in your $20 price point? Because people will pay $20 quickly for that. And then guarantee them a spot at a craft fair, like a fall or spring craft fair. Or winter probably. So I'm working on that. So we'll see how much more we can get in on this grant. We've got a lot of good ideas. Let's see, we're auto care for other basic car care for teens, that sort of thing. Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, second installment of financial literacy workshop. We're working on that. She didn't get nearly as far as she thought she would on our last workshop, so we'll keep going on that. And that's so. Yeah, we can talk about personnel. I don't need to go into executive session. We did hire Junior Mercy to help us with the after school program. She's here Monday through Thursday, and she's working out really well. And we are starting to search for a new youth programmer, and I would really like to get y'all's opinion. Molly was doing things like doing the program as well as the collection. She was developing our youth collection, and that's too much for one thing. So what I was thinking is if we broke that section apart, that set of job duties is for the collection development, could be done by somebody with a degree or master's remotely. They don't need to even be here. They could just say, we need to weed these, and we could do the actual work. We need to purchase these books, and then we could do it. So I was thinking about if we could break the job description into two different jobs, and that would be a contract position. And even somebody like Samantha could do that because she's familiar with our library, and she could do something like that. And then the other person would be physically here doing the rounding up of children for the programs, helping get the supplies, doing things like that.
boots on the ground.
Yeah, boots on the ground. That would not necessarily need a degree, even. We could think of the programs and then have them enact it, just something like that. But I think the way we had it described it before was too much for 20 hours a week. And it was too much work. So that's not, she resigned for personal reasons, but I was very worried at the time. I was like, you need to get some help. We need to, you need to get some assistance. So we need to think about that.
Can you estimate what you think each job time-wise would take weekly?
Yeah, the children's program for the one here would probably be, let's see, 15 hours to maybe 20 hours a week, maybe. The books, 5 hours a week, if that, 5 hours a month, maybe we could do that. It wouldn't take much time at all. Because we're running out of space for our books. That's the other thing I gotta come up with the facilities. Yeah, we're running out of space. So, but it's not that much. It would be, but it would be a different pay scale for each one, so. But yeah, I'm still working on it, so I'm still writing the description, so I'll have more by the end. But the kids club's gonna be running through December I'm just gonna see how it goes till the end of December, then we can decide from there whether we need to keep going or not.
Well, we'll see how parents take to it after some time goes by. I could see them, I could see just in general, not knowing, not hearing, not like, not trusting or
Some
not
parents
really
asked, do they
trusting.
have to come all 4 days?
Right.
And I said, no, you don't have to. But I think it is difficult to have to, like, for me, for example, I have to leave work at 2:30 to pick Eleanor up at 3. to then come over here. As opposed to leaving work at 3:30 to get her off the bus at 4.
Mhm.
So it does make a little bit more, so for some parents, it may not be, I think that was the ideal, what we had talked about with
Yeah.
being able to bring the kids over. Cause that would have been great, and then I could stay at work until 4, and then,
Right.
but so that, I think that does make it a little
Yeah.
trickier, but, and I've offered to some parents too, like, if you wanna give your kids permission, like, I'll take them with me, like, for Eleanor's friends, but there's also dance and sports and, you know, competing with other things, which no matter what time you do. it's gonna-
It may be that we need to reformat it so that it's a drop in, like, but I'm worried about space. And there's some activities that we'll be doing outside, like we did chalk the other day, so we had bubbles and chalk and we'll go on nature walks and things like that, but. That's why when Molly was here, we thought of 20 kids, but when Molly's not here, I was like, I have to reformat it to 12 max, because we have to stay down here, so. And I don't know if we can use upstairs or not, so. I've asked, but I haven't heard back.
You talked to Janine about that as well,
No, I didn't mention that yet.
that's, we could get her on that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because it's just an hour.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's not like there's a lot of like errands I can run in Pine Plains in an hour,
Without
but
them having the transportation.
Yeah.
You know, in the past,
yeah.
we've had a bus to be able to drop them.
Mhm. Yeah, Stanfordville, when they did it, they were able to only bus, I think, like 5 students, cause I called the library and asked, cause Eleanor would have loved to do that one, and they were like, oh, sorry, the bus is full. I'm like, already? How is the bus full? And they're like, well, they're only giving us 5 seats, so. But you could definitely, I mean, you could call the,
Yeah, I'm gonna call it.
Bus
they-
garage and
yeah,
ask,
they-
yeah.
I emailed, but I'll call here, I'll call.
Everybody's. they're all
Yeah, they were-
short-staffed.
They were very busy shuffling the bus schedules around, that first week of school or the week before.
Even this week.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Crosswalks. in this
Yeah,
town.
that's what.
We need
that's-
to process, yeah.
I think the problem with that was I couldn't find a company that would, that it's just too small of jobs, and so it was gonna be too expensive, or they couldn't even get anybody to come out here to do it.
I think they may have been imagining a larger job, which is the ones with the flashing lights and which requires
picking up.
a study and the state gets involved and then, you know, like they, you know, if we're just putting in, you know, painting lines and adding, you know, a sign with no flashing lights, and I'm not sure it's, you know, as much a deal, you know.
But the town has extra money this year.
Really?
How come they're not helping us with our sign?
They had to budget, they,
Sorry.
Sorry.
I'll bring that up. They had to budget for us in case we did not get the 414.
Mhm.
So that's $99,500. That is not allocated to anything in the town's budget.
But we got the money.
We got the money, but they had to budget for it just in case we didn't get it. So they still have the money because we're not utilizing it from them. We got our own,
Okay,
we got our own funding through the 414.
okay, I thought it all came out of the same pile of money inevitably,
I don't-
so
It could, I don't think it does though.
I think it just crosses.
And even if it, well. Yeah, I don't know. But like Millerton got a grant, the village of Millerton got a grant for those blinking lights
Yeah,
by the rail trail, by
Yeah.
Dutchess Avenue, by the library. So, I don't know.
Another grant.
great,
Another
you need a
grant.
grant writer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm kind of busy. So I'm being happy to be grants, I'd love to be grants.
Well, I do feel like. I've been pushing for a grant writer at my work as well, because they pay for themselves.
Mhm.
And so if it means hiring another part-time 20-hour-a-week person here at, you know. To pick up or at least cover some of your like time at the desk,
So, but, yeah,
that would be well worth it in our budget, so you could write grants for additional things.
If we can get the desk is covered,
Yeah.
it's the youth program now. I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be able to do it, so
Yeah.
we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Is it true with all grant, well, we just dealt with this with a FEMA grant at work. The FEMA grant writer pays for themselves because they can take their check out of up to like 1,800
It depends,
out of that grant.
it depends on the grant, if that's correct, if it can cover some of your operating expenses, or if it's just for project expenses.
'Cause
That's the way I understood it.
I keep
but-
seeing that their pricing is very odd,
Mhm.
and that was the question I asked. They pay for themselves out of the grant, so they cap it at whatever the grant allows them to charge.
Yeah, I think,
Not every grant is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some are little, I mean, the Bank of Greene County does a grant that one of the other libraries was talking about, at an event that I was at. And that they do little grants, you know,
They're good about that.
and yeah, and they like them, they like small, you know, digestible little bits, you know, that works for them. But that kind of grant wouldn't have a fee built into it, but you know, the fundraising / grant writing is like, you know, like if you're good enough at your job, you pay for yourself, you know, you do have to build in.
have we ever done any of the Dyson mini grants? Those are relatively, from what I've heard, relatively easy grants to apply for. It's the Dyson Foundation, and they do mini grants project by project, so they don't cover the entire, but if you did like one for the kids programming, they wouldn't cover 100% of it, they would cover 80% of the development of the program. So if you're hiring a new person to do the programming, there might be a way you can kind of move it.
Okay.
Well, the Stewart's grant is so easy. And it has to be for the youth, for kids. And that would be for next year.
So the
I did that many times.
And
It's very
Berkshire
easy.
Design,
that's next year. I have to do the final report December 31st, but then we can apply for the second part of it. They're really enthusiastic about what we're doing, so I
That's
think
great.
it's very enthusiastic about what we're doing. And the board is really, I mean, the team board is really good, and they're graduating, most of them are graduating this year, so I have to find some more. The person that takes this position. to do it. So, anybody got any questions on that? You're gonna go on to facilities?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay, so facilities, I told Janine that the door, the main door inside is still broken and, so the outdoor is kind of fixed now, the electronic door, but the inside quit working, so that's why there's a use of the door. She's gonna work on that. We did purchase some modular couches for the kids' room and, shift the stuff around.
Have they puffed up?
Oh, yeah, they popped it. They can't. That was so funny. I was like, what did I buy? And I forgot they couldn't compress, they have to take some fluff out, but it was really funny. It's nice, it'll be fun. I do need to decorate that wall behind it though, because it's bare. Let's see. Oh,
Is it
yeah,
something we could paint a funky color, or is it painted a funky
like
color?
I'd like to hang kids' art up there that they do. I think that we could have that wall of art there, just put them in frames or something. It may not work because if kids are playing with the couches there, the cushions, they may get in the way. But it's a perfect wall to paint stuff on. But we could certainly paint stuff on it for sure, that too. Let's see, computers, I included the numbers that Rich gave us for computers, which they're very good prices, I thought. And
Yes,
you could-
now, can you explain some of the options? I was looking at these, the additional.
Oh.
Like the add-ons, like what is the. There was a Wi-Fi. I lost it. No, I was reading a different line, sorry, it was in the original line.
So.
Oh, yeah, it's the format case and Wi-Fi. What I don't, what does that
Uh,
mean? Is it, it's a new Wi-Fi
That I don't know.
card? Or, I was just wondering what the distinction between the,
Don't know what that format cases. We talked about getting slim cases.
yeah,
And that we really don't need that, because we don't, the ones that we have now, they're a good size and we don't have enough room. I mean, the slim cases don't give you that much more room for the amount of money that you're spending. I don't know what that micro, I did not ask him that.
so maybe. I mean, my feeling is going from 16 gig to 32 for $40 seems like a cheap
Yeah.
way to upgrade the computer, so
Yeah.
like some of these, I think, are kind of no brainer.
Yep, some of the cheaper ones are definitely going up to a higher gig and things like that is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one I don't know, I'll ask him about that one.
God bless Google. Mini ITX is a form factor for computer motherboards and cases that are smaller than standard
Oh.
ITX motherboards.
Okay.
And are often used to build small energy efficient computers.
Yeah, we don't need that, we don't need that.
So you want the three computers that are used for general browsing for public use, basic computers.
The ones we need a little higher speed and higher RAM are the ones for the circulation disk. Cause they're freezing up now and Sierra is very RAM.
It's a hog.
It is a
Yeah.
hog.
Yeah, those, they all are, because they never get rid of the other underlying code, they just add new code on it, and
It's
that's the way those things work, and
it's
And the director's computer is working as of now.
it's fine.
Okay.
I don't do intensive anything on that, other than word processing.
So is this the description for the public computers?
So-
Or is this the description for all of them, and then?
The basic computer is what we would get for the patrons. The add-ons is what I would like to get for some of
Right,
for the.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that makes sense. So if we get. And we're talking about multiples.
So
Two out here?
three here and two for so 5. Excuse me. And maybe, I don't know if that other one on the far end, Angie just started using that one again, that's for cataloging, but I'm not sure what she would do with that one. I don't know if she needs that one or not, but that would be at least fun.
Do you need to run Sierra on that?
She's doing it. I think she's running Sierra. No, she's not, because we don't have a seat on it. I don't know, I'll have to ask her what she's doing. But definitely for the 5, that's, we were looking for five computers, and that doesn't include like, the laptops that we're eventually gonna need to replace. Their Dells, and they're as old as the desktops are. They're slow, but they work.
Did those get a lot of use?
I use mine, but we were talking about letting patrons borrow some, but they have in library use right now, but we were talking about having some sort of.
Do people borrow them?
Yeah, they do it occasionally, yeah, they do it. They'll sit and do something, sit in a chair and work. Most people are using the desktop of those, the younger people are using the laptops.
Okay. I think, yeah, we should finalize those.
Oh, Amy says it does have Sierra, she does have Sierra.
Okay.
And the processing computer is fine, okay, so she doesn't need that one, the 4 one, she just needs the 5 of it.
Where would the money come from to pay for them? So we have $2,200 left in the equipment budget line.
Right.
And by my math, it would be 2,300.
Well, if we do 5 computer, yeah,
Including souping up
right,
the clerk computers.
right.
So is that the intention to use the rest of the equipment line and then any extra just tack on to some of our grant money?
There's always, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's not always. There's usually money in one account versus another account. There at the end, you can slide things in.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm losing my voice.
You're choking with that.
You know, but there's always a little. wiggle
well,
room
like this
in the
year,
far end game.
we have our, what was down, something, our insurance, cost was down significantly. Or maybe not significantly, but down enough that,
Right.
so you are proposing the two clerks' computers are higher RAM, higher storage space. Do you need the CD DVD burners or maybe on one computer?
We need those on the patron computers. We don't need them, I don't think on ours. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what-
Why?
That adds to that.
That's technology that's kind of. No.
Believe it or not, there are still places that will not, the military being one of them, will
Oh.
not accept a flash drive. My husband just
Oh.
had to burn a CD like this week, actually, to submit
Okay.
to the military.
Okay.
because
We're
they
still
will only
faxing.
take-
Yeah, we are still,
Yeah.
we fax like we don't believe.
And unfortunately, most people don't have a CD burner at home. Luckily, we
Right.
do, because he's been in the
Okay.
military long enough to know that.
Right,
But
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Would that
it-
be
it
something
makes sense. Surprised me. Like-
that we could get on one computer versus all three?
Then we have to shunt a patron to a specific computer if all three are being used. So, and we have had.
They're rolling chairs, right?
Just sit over there.
Excuse me, can you talk to her while you're doing what this person?
No.
Yeah.
Be able to do that.
If they're really used
mean,
regularly,
And
then.
it is
then that-
$35, but
it's-
maybe
yeah, it's
on,
not.
Oh, Amy said we do need a disc player for staff to check playback issues. So if a movie has a playback,
So
like,
you need
yeah,
a
we need
player.
DVD player, a CD
Similar.
player.
So theoretically, all five computers would have, so that's 35. Oh, my math skills.
When I was cleaning out my computer when I retired, I opened up the disk drive and found something. Just in there forever. And I was like, what?
I'm sure my jagged little pills.
Exactly.
So I
It was
keep, I keep
something
old
else.
technology like that around like a DVD player, a CD, DVD.
Yeah, you need
the
one,
CD-ROM,
something, yeah.
and the disc player for
Sure.
just because. Just because.
Yeah, I think I still have a.
have one that you
DVD
loan out, so
player.
more people will.
We do.
Do you?
We do, yeah. I used
We
to,
have one, but we have no way to hook it up to our TV, because the plug for it is behind, but our TV is on the wall, so.
I got one specifically with an
Kids laugh all the time.
HDMI and the other
Mhm,
cables,
yeah.
but we did use it the other day for the, we used it for the, defensive driving course. He used a CD player, or a CD. Or, you know,
DVD.
DVD, and I had to bring the little player there, so.
Did he fill up?
We had 13 people, yeah.
That's always.
I'm gonna need to take it again next year, so
Ditto.
please,
always popular.
yeah, Ethan and I were in the same session a couple of years ago.
Glad it was able to be posted. That's good.
Yeah.
So by my math, if we got the basic computers plus the CD and DVD drive. Three of those. And then two clerk's computers with the CD drive,
And the
a
super
larger
drive.
RAM, larger processor, larger hard drive. That's 2,500 and change. That's
Mhm.
5 computers.
I think Rich is doing us a favor, you know, so.
I agree.
We should.
And can
run.
he, in that price, can he Frankenstein piecemeal a Linux computer together?
Oh, these are all new computers, so he will take what, I've asked him to do that, to take one of the old computers and turn it into Linux.
So we're getting 6.
Well, it's, well, yeah,
Roughly.
but that one's an old one, that's,
Yeah.
yeah. So we will take the old computer that we
And
have
make
here
it-
and make it a Linux.
Excuse me, great. And they don't need as much
No, no.
speed and.
Oh, no. the only reason we're ever having to upgrade everything is because of
Windows.
Windows.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
If you're gonna buy 5 computers, why wouldn't you consider it an investment in capital? You
it
have,
is.
you
Is
have,
there a line for capital?
well, you have $60,000 in the Stissing Lodge account.
Uh,
Now, why wouldn't why wouldn't you tap that instead of trying to take it out of your budget?
that's fair.
Because they last a long time.
Yeah. If that's a legitimate use of the money, let's do it. I mean, what if,
I'm saying don't be cheap.
Yeah,
You
maybe
have
get
the
more
money,
upgraded.
use it.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe get them all souped up.
for $40 extra, if we have the money for each of them, it seems like it would probably be a investment worth.
Yeah,
That's good.
For Harlan.
yeah, right.
So that's $588, which. So that would be 2,900.
Yeah, yeah, so yeah, let's pay for that out of the capital.
You know, give me an upper limit, like vote for, do y'all need to vote for that, I guess, to use that capital funds?
Yeah, we do, what was the price for,
2,940.
So can you give me a 3 or,
Yeah, it's
Something.
3,000.
yeah,
why don't we roll it up so we don't have to come back if there's something that,
it's
so
like
there's a
5,
third,
and then
yeah,
this is like 5, and then we'll use less than that. for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
yeah, let's do that.
Because the other condition was, he said that the price that he got me on these particular drives were kind of short term, because the next round was coming up, the price changes were coming, the next model was coming out, so he was gonna have to, he was
So you need to
worried
order
about
them
that.
quickly,
Yeah, he was a
so,
little worried about that.
yes, I'm gonna say we're going to pre-approve $5,000.
Okay.
And then if you don't spend it all, perfect.
That sounds like a motion.
Okay, that I will motion that we will pre-approve $5,000 from the lodge account for the capital equipment costs for Deanne.
One second.
All in favor? Great.
Thank you.
I'm in favor. I just didn't hear one word. I thought I heard you at the end say per diem.
Deanne,
Thank you.
for Deanne.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, now so that's facilities and capital investments. I was gonna talk to Janine about, we still need to get the town's approval. The board meeting, the town board meeting was the week before our meeting last month. So I was gonna go and talk to them about it. When I showed up at the board meeting, it was something else, so, cause I was getting it wrong. So we'll make sure that, we have to get that approved by the town board.
Approval for what?
They're part of the
Oh.
sign.
Oh,
Like, that's, I think at this point is really the only thing that's holding it up, is that. So,
What's, I guess Janine's not here, so it's hard to, but what's the feeling of them installing it?
I think they're not willing to
They're
do
not.
that.
So what are we?
That
waiting
was-
for
that
the
was made
approval of
clear?
the design?
so then why are we paying for the community center sign? That's,
I wonder,
I-
that's
if
what it
there-
was like my
if-
first
if-
meeting when I heard it.
I'm sorry, if we're paying for the sign, we're the ones instigating getting a new sign. The sign out there is atrocious. It's been atrocious for years. We're instigating getting a new sign. I have no problem paying for the sign with library money, including the community center sign, so that there's some consistency and cohesiveness to the signs. I think if the town's getting a free sign out of it, the expectation that they could finagle getting the thing installed is not unreasonable. If they're not willing to do that or put any money towards it, why are we paying for it? Because it would be a third of the price or 2/3 of the price that it is now.
But again, this building is not the library building, it's
Understood.
you know, so we have to, they're not gonna put a. I think this is a good faith kind of thing to do,
I'm sure we can find a contractor to come install the sign for us, just like a in kind. I would think.
Or somebody to
For
volunteer and come
somebody
to
to
do it.
volunteer and do it, but. I think if you just ask, if we threw the question out there, say, you know, we need a new sign installed, if there's anybody. I feel like I could ask at least 2 or 3 people who might be willing to do it, but.
The sticking point from when I was at the meetings was the $600 in installation fees. Is that, because that was on the paperwork, correct? It was like, was that an
So
estimate?
was
What-
this, the person that make, the
the sign,
company making the sign, if they were gonna install it,
Yeah.
right?
we're gonna charge that, yeah.
So if we, that was the number that, that
They
was
were
too
they-
far for the town, the $600. They took
But-
that as the $600 too far, and they were not gonna pay for that. So if we made them understand what the process was, like it's digging a hole, it's putting some cement in it, maybe $250 worth of whatever, then maybe.
Maybe about an
they'd be
hour
more-
and a half work. for
They might be
somebody.
more willing to do it, but I didn't know what the
What-
600.
What are the rules for installing a sign that close to like the road? Is it-
It's already been
It's
approved.
been approved, you don't have to do, there's.
Yeah,
okay,
Ed said there was.
It goes to the
one
building
that-
inspector and he said it was fine.
Yeah,
Alright.
so we
Um,
have the approval to do it, we just need to find people to do it.
So I think that if we understood what the process was and what the actual cost locally would be, not to have this, the people that design the sign do it, that was an inflated number for them. They may not want to do that. You know, they don't want to
Right.
install a sign, so they say it's $600. But
Right.
if it's actually gonna be
Well, if it comes with
They
all the
don't, they're not even
pieces,
willing to like give a little money for this. It's just their son too, but I agree with you, you can't really.
we can't,
Be
we
nasty
can't, we
about it.
can't not, we can't not do it, yeah.
So we know which.
I'm so frustrated, cause I know someone who could do it. I don't wanna, like literally, like, you know, like in no time at all, you know. With their assistant could get it done and it would be done, you know, like, it's not that hard to do.
Well, maybe if they can give us an estimate of what it would cost them in a real world, and then we take that to the town and say, hey, this is what it's.
I mean, it's what, 2 bags of cement that are.
It's 2 bags of.
$5
two-
each.
2 bags of dry
Could take
set
the whole-
and the time to do, you know, it's the use of a hole digger that already belongs to the family, you know. Yeah,
What if
exactly.
you asked- What if
Yeah,
you
no,
asked
I
the
mean,
town, well,
like,
just
you know,
the
we could all.
manufacturer of sign,
You know.
does he need to install it?
I don't.
I don't anticipate it would be that complicated.
Here's
Maybe this town could suggest someone that would, they know that might be able to do it.
Well, that's my point. If just facilitate getting it installed, however you get it installed, get it installed. It's
Right.
the town.
So this is, I guess, like the sign will come from the sign maker with all the uprights and all the pieces
You just
complete,
put it
like,
together like a Lego kit.
but yeah, so,
dig a hole.
okay, yes.
Somebody's gotta go
I-
pick the thing up.
I will,
Anybody can do that.
I will install the sign.
Who's your helper?
We're serious.
Yeah, this is But
I could we can have a work meeting on a Saturday morning and we can get the sign installed. The question is.
We'll do a crosswalk thing.
The question is.
Discussing it. than it
I
would
know,
just to do.
exactly, that's why I'm saying this.
Thanks a lot.
It's like, I will donate my time and I will. Um, yeah, we can maybe pick a
Jay and
day.
Bobby are just the best. That's good.
One of them will get it.
My husband's only available days and I'm not, so I know he was very upset. He did it and I did not.
Right, no, that's fine, but like, we'll have a little work, a work,
So now we need,
a volunteer
Still
work
the-
day.
board we need. or no?
So we'll need to order the sign and have it constructed. At this point, if they're not participating at all, do we need their approval? I think we do need
Yeah,
to
it's
ask
their
them to
property.
just.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will,
And they haven't approved it yet.
I think
They
we
want to
would,
install it, but.
Well, they picked a version that they liked.
Right.
From.
I
so-
thought there was still something waiting for. Like,
Right.
so let me,
So if we get a firm answer on
Which one is
Thursday.
going on town?
That's right, that's what the issue was. They wanted
there, was that really it?
I don't know,
Yeah,
that was
but
part of
that-
it.
Probably.
Part of it.
This is what, I don't mean to sound so bent out of shape, but this has been a conversation for before I was on the board. And
That's right, actually, at my first meeting I came to, you all were talking about it as well, so.
And now we're hung up
I
on
can
what
say
seems to
as
be
the
such
person who's
a
been on this-
Minutia.
minutia.
Let
That's a
me-
very good word.
I will text Kiri and just confirm with her what I need to ask them at the town board, what we're still waiting for them to agree to. And I will tell them that the installation has been donated.
Well, so we'd like to get
And
this
that they-
before we get.
We'd like-
Right.
Yeah.
We need a final answer
Yes,
Thursday.
yeah.
This
Yes,
is happening.
Yeah.
right,
We're moving forward.
okay.
And remind them that the first time we went to them was how many months ago? And they
How many
still
years
haven't
ago?
approved
Yeah,
it.
Years.
yeah, no, this
Yeah.
has been dragging on a long time. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
Upward.
Onward, yes. Okay, we'll get that done.
We need to have a party when this gets
A
installed.
posthole digging party. That's where the party is.
And a
You're
celebration when
landscaping
it's
over
done.
there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
literally,
Well, then, yeah, then
we've been
they-
talking about a
Years.
service out there.
Yeah.
For so many years.
Since Jim Morrow was
Since-
president, when we came
Since
back.
this building was built.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Claire?
Yes,
Before you move on to fundraising, which is what I think you're about to do,
okay,
could we take a step back and because the director's report ends with a discussion of facilities, and
Oh.
that therefore melds into the committee discussions. So may I please make a motion to accept
It's just the
Deanne's director's
report.
report for the month of August 2024.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Thank you.
Thank-
Patrick, for
thank you.
Crossing and dotting i's. Crossing t's. Okay.
Don't cross your eyes, Claire. That's
No.
you'll if you get hit in the back, you'll stay that way. Didn't you hear that as a kid? As a
That's
kid, they
what I
said
heard.
your eyes will stay that way.
Yes, everybody's mom and dad.
Okay, Ethan, would you like to make a small report as to the explorations you've been doing
For what?
for fundraising?
Oh, I can, sure.
Okay.
Well, hold on. So I think we need a standing committee, number one. We really don't have a standing committee.
That's right.
And in order for it not to be subject to open meetings law, we need 2 board members, no
Okay.
more. The director, Doug, and then maybe a couple old board members, people
Mhm.
who still have an interest in helping out, and maybe that was their strong suit, like
Mhm.
Esther Williams, or there's people around. But I went through and did the investigative work for Hicksville Road, Trip Road, Stumps Misery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. and got a list of those addresses, 150 houses or so. So if we're moving forward on sending out our
Postcards.
postcard. And you wanna do it before November, ultimately, or before Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
we gotta do it
Yeah.
now.
Okay,
To be able to approve it at the next month's meeting and like send it out almost immediately.
That's why I'm pushing so hard on these new programs.
Mhm.
So we have a long list of
right,
accomplishments.
yeah, yeah,
So I got. Let's start on that.
it's a good. I agree with you. I don't know the names of the people and I don't have the history of, you know, would Diane want to do that? Would Beth want to take on one more thing? I tried to talk to her the other day and she kind of shut me down, so I didn't even get to launch into my, you know, I overstepped by saying we didn't want to be involved with the cemetery tour, but it is going on without us. You know, they're doing it. They haven't started publicizing it. This is the problem. We were stronger with the doing the publicity for the cemetery tour and I've heard very little about it. The signs haven't gone up. I don't know that any, like, I don't, and so like I want to make, I was trying to say to her, my bad, you know, like I was gonna say my bad for leaping in and saying, we don't really, like, why don't you guys just take it over and just do it? But, you know, we all wanna make sure it succeeds, and however it is, you know, maybe the split wouldn't be even, you know, but we're willing to help out somehow, whether it's staff time or, you know, last year, Alexis approved a lot of hourly time from the staff to help out, so, you know, I don't know how they're gonna fill that gap. So I'd like to, I just, like, it was at an event that was for something else, and so I didn't feel like I could really like stand there and really nail it, and it was smack dab in the middle of the week from hell, so you know, so I didn't get a chance to really apologize and then try to move forward on looping us back in somehow. I mean, Annie's opinion, and I don't know if she's still listening in, was, you know, that we, you know, we want to participate because it's a good event. We want to make sure it flies, even if, you know, you know,
Can I help? Can I contact her as a new person that,
yes,
okay.
yes.
I have to do that.
You know, I did kind of say we didn't want to be involved, you know, because it just seemed like the amount of money that it raised, and the amount of, you know, vitriol that had, you know, flown around, you know, last year and I, you know.
I'm a fan, if we can if we can assist in advertising it and getting the word out there with whatever they may
Whatever
choose to
we can
do.
do,
But if they're moving on with it, I would let that be for this year, just because it is.
okay,
But if there's any way that we can help advertise it, we have almost 1,000 Facebook followers,
right,
post flyers. And maybe communicate that to Beth and to
Right.
Eileen, and
right,
I'll do that.
yeah, what
And that's
can we do
that's
to
a
help?
minimal, that's us being able to take our strength at no cost.
Right,
And say, we'll help you
Right.
advertise, keep the money, let's make
Right.
it a good fundraiser for the
Right.
town.
yeah,
So that just the historical society?
Yeah. and honestly, they need it more than we do, you know, I mean, not that we don't need it, like,
It's their only.
yeah, that's their really only fundraiser, I think. So that that was kind of the behind the, like, why are we splitting this in half? But, you know, we would do the insurance and we would do, you know, like the, you know, like. I would like them to not fail, like, not that they're going to fail, but, you know, like, I don't wanna, like, what can we do to help? Yes, yeah. Yes.
I just missed one thing. Who is Deanne going to reach out to?
Beth and Diane Watnick.
Okay, thank you.
I know Lenore's been talking about it and, you know, so like they're acting like it's happening, yet I haven't seen any notification about it. So what can we do to help? Yeah, because we should be selling tickets, you know, and if I haven't seen the tickets go by, you know, then nobody has. So I'd like, yeah.
We'll get back.
It'll be on our town website.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, policy
Well,
review.
do we want to create a financial committee, like an actual people here? Yeah,
Fundraising?
or a
You mean
fundraising?
fundraising?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think you're making a good point. It's important, and we keep talking about how important it is. And yeah, I think it's a smart idea to come but I missed one thing. This isn't so much for the minutes, but for my understanding, you were suggesting that it be a standing committee comprised of a certain number of people to talk to me again about what you were saying about the open meetings law.
in order to be not subject to having public minutes and recording the video, we can only have 2 of our board members. After that, it becomes a public meeting. It's a majority of the board. Oh, we can have up to 3, I guess, right?
I'm sorry, clarify that for me, please. So does that mean that a max of 2 board members, or is it a percentage of the standing committee?
No, a max of 2.
So it could be a 3-person committee.
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
it could be a 20-person committee. So if we
Got it.
start it and there's 2 board members and the director, that's a great start. And then we can get people
You can get
involved.
anybody else to be
Yeah.
on the, yeah.
So
people from
what I'm
other-
also hearing is we can only have, another way to phrase it is we cannot have more than 2 board members on this committee.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. So then that raises a question for me. Who are the 2 board members that would want to do it and that would want to do it? I think Kiri has.
Fury is a good one. It's not my strength to do this kind of stuff. I can do boots on the ground, but I can't, like, it doesn't play to my strengths.
Okay.
Ironically, I've been beating this drum for months and it's not my strength either, but if nobody else wants to, I can.
I think that's a good idea. Let's. I mean, I don't think we need to vote on this, but I think we should continue discussions of creating a standing committee that would be comprised of no more than 2 board members, likely Kiri and Ethan, and then we should try to spitball ideas about people who are not trustees but who might be helpful. And I guess maybe this is a good, I don't have an idea, but I could come up with a few. Does anyone have a name they want to throw out now, or should we do that, by email? I don't want to, put any names up on this open meeting that we'll regret, but
Okay.
but yeah.
Why don't we spitball names on email?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know offhand. I know that I've had a lot of people talk to me about the library and its fundraising, and that it's it can be a touchy subject sometimes because of the history with the Oddfellows.
mhm.
And but I know that there are, I've come across people in town who are what's the word I want to say? Politely critical of, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Maybe some of those people
Mhm.
could step up.
Right.
Okay.
Something you could throw out to like social media, to like the website, to like email, like saying we're looking to build a fundraising committee and let people
I like that idea.
interested volunteer.
Or an
I like
article
that
in the New
idea.
Pine Plains Herald,
Yeah.
if only we had a connection to that.
I
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I got it.
My,
think you might be surprised who you may get if you let them come to you. as
I
opposed-
like that idea. I will take the initiative of crafting a couple of sentences for either social media or the Herald or whatever.
Great.
Searching for volunteers.
and I would frame it just at. I think this year's a wash already. We're gonna start working as a board on the letter.
Right.
On the postcard appeal.
Yep.
But I would say by January, if we all come up with certain names, and then we can start having somewhat regular meetings, whether it's just the committee or talk to people like Pat Lacona is the board president of Rojan, and they do a ton of fundraising. Pat come down in a heartbeat.
They are an interesting board because their board is
They got
like,
1,000 members.
yeah, because of their event
Yeah,
that they do to pay their bills.
yeah.
That's why they have that many people on their board, because it's just a fundraising committee,
Yeah.
one fundraising committee. It's interesting the way that works. Yeah, we do, I think you're absolutely right, is that if we can get a small group of people who wanna do it.
So we still have to figure out when we can meet and go over the letter appeal, unless we just want to copy and paste what we did last year. Add some different stats in. Updated, new director,
I think that,
Spice Library.
I think we should reformat it, a little bit, not that it was bad last year, it was great, But I loved, like, when we were doing the appeal. When we sent out the to vote card, like that was, also great, like to have the list of all the things that we do well, is a great way to do it. Then with maybe on the other side, some words about, real fundraising, or something, or are we doing a one sheet in an envelope, or are we doing a postcard?
And I really like Carrie's idea of having a tiered letter to different caliber of but I wouldn't propose doing that this year. I would propose expanding to whom we send the appeal to in the form of outside of the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and then next year work on
Formal letters.
upping it one more step.
Mhm.
I think it's a smart idea.
So here's an idea. Why don't we ask Deanne to send all of us by email like a PDF of last year's mailer, and we'll just mark that up with ideas. Yeah? No?
Okay.
Because I agree. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's probably some stuff from last year that we like. There might be 1 or 2 things that we didn't like. And I think it's easy to move things along when you shoot around an email and give somebody 10 minutes to write on it and scan it back.
I think the other important part of that would be some sort of donor database to keep track of all the people who are giving, keep track of all the people. And I don't know what you would use as a library. I know there's a lot of different versions of donor databases you could use, but then it keeps track of it for you. And
You mean renting or?
no,
just donations?
for donations.
So we have that, that brings up a point I forgot. Patrick, the secretary normally writes thank you notes for donations, and we received a nice donation for some work that Annie had done for, gosh, I meant to have this letter with me, the physical therapist across the street.
Oh. The one over here.
Yeah, she did computer work for it, and she didn't take any money, and she said send a donation, so they sent a very nice donation, so that is in the Google Sheets. And normally the secretary writes a thank you note for that.
Yes, I'm happy to do that.
Okay, so that is up there, and I sent you the link for I think I sent you the link for the Google Sheet, so but that's there, but we do
And
have a
do we have-
spreadsheet.
Do you have a spreadsheet and, okay.
Yeah, that we keep with, that
Mhm.
is a form of us to show that we have sent tax.
Do we have
Letter.
stationery?
We have note cards, but as
It's
far as
the old-
letters, the old logo, it has
Okay.
the old logo on it, but it's nice stationery, it's nice note cards,
Okay,
but we
may-
don't have.
Maybe we could get some to Patrick this weekend or something, so he has those.
I'll come by and grab them.
Okay,
But just keeping track, so that way,
Yeah.
after like 3 years with certain people on not responding.
Yeah.
It's just, there's some people might not be worth it for, or they might have different addresses, which might be worth looking into, because they might not get mail at their Plains address, or.
Right,
We have to have a budget meeting at some point, right? Or are we gonna do that tonight? Fine, but
are we supposed to do?
we're not doing that tonight.
I'm not.
But
But if we have a scheduled budget meeting, we could also throw this on top.
Yeah, that would
We
probably make
don't
sense.
have a scheduled meeting to do budget. We usually do a workshop at some point. It's usually earlier than this, but. Saturdays are starting to look so complicated and then. Is there a? I know this is everybody, I mean, I'm just trying to think of the other days that. Do Sunday meeting with the open bagels.
Most Tuesdays and Wednesday nights work for me. Sundays, I could make work.
Some days I could make work as well.
Okay.
Sorry, I missed the beginning of what we're talking about. Are we talking about reconvening so that we can discuss the budget?
Yeah, setting up a budget meeting, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, weekends are great for me, frankly. At any time, as
Okay.
long as somebody wakes me up.
Um. I mean, we're not obligated to have a budget. The way we used to be to get money from the town, so we're, but we do need to set it up at some point. So that we can publicize it.
Free tomorrow night.
What about September 29th? That's Sunday.
Uh-huh.
That's the
You're free.
one Sunday I'm working. Sixth I'm free, the first I'm free, the second I'm free, the third I'm free.
Second is Rosh Hashanah. Is the
Uh,
Shiksa wife.
Yeah,
How's the sixth for people? Yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay, let's send something out to people.
7 AM.
Honestly, let's get it over with. Talking about financials at 7 in the morning.
Claire's free Davis. And a postal digger.
Still bigger, that's right. We can do a budget meeting and install the signs previously. I don't know what time do we wanna do it? 9 or 10?
That's good for me.
10's good, let's just
9:30.
9:30. Split the difference. Let's,
So I'll make a motion. We have a budget and fundraising
Do
meeting.
we need to ask Ted whether that's a good day?
Yes,
Ted, are you still there?
I am.
Sunday, October sixth. 10 AM? Or is that a bad time?
Sunday, what?
October sixth? To do a budget meeting,
What time?
10? Can you do that, or is,
Yeah, 10 will be.
okay.
No.
Let's say it, if that works for people, I will make sure I go get bagels. And some cream cheese.
So it's here.
Here.
so I'll make that motion. 10 AM, October 6th.
I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
We'll make sure Kiri knows.
Who's gonna do the preliminary reports?
Oh,
The what?
preliminary reports. I don't know what the format of all that is. Ted, can you and Deanne figure? I
Well,
don't know
you
what,
don't wanna- You don't wanna walk into a meeting and have nothing.
you're absolutely right. I've never said, sorry, this is, Alexis always used to just do everything, so I wasn't even thinking about it.
Ted, you wanna get together and do it? Would that be all right if we got together with the members and we did it?
Well, it's up to them. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
We need someplace to start.
Can probably take what last year's budget.
Should, yeah, I think Alexis had done
Already did
some,
numbers.
had laid out some numbers across multiple years, so we could certainly start with some of that.
You know, I also don't think that this, I do think that this, if this is something new for Deanne, I think it's totally appropriate to reach out to Alexis and ask her, you know, for a little bit of reminder guidance on how this, we left on very good terms with her. And yeah, I mean, I heard Allison start by saying, you know, take last year's as precedent, and that's probably what I would do as well. But why don't you reach out to Alexis and ask her how she did it?
Yeah, she's got, there's some files in there for projections, so.
Yeah.
we can
Yeah,
use that as well.
projected budgets and,
Yeah.
um. I've lost my files. Everything I've said. Okay, we're down to. Oh my God, we gotta finish this. Policy review, they seem pretty straightforward
So
to
the
me.
foil one we need to stop because we got a Mid-Hudson, there's a change in the foil.
Okay,
So let's just
drop
table that
that
one until I
today,
can actually
okay.
look at it. The one I do need is the pay time off, so we can get that with GTM. They
Yes,
can start monitoring it for us or tracking it for us, so if we can get that one past them, we can go. That would make us so much easier for us.
okay. And it just has. to-
Sorry, could you go back, please, Deanne?
Yes,
Could you repeat why we are not discussing the FOIL policy?
there was a change in the regulations or the law this week that I became aware of. From Mid-Hudson, they sent out an email, was it yesterday or today? I think it was yesterday. That there's a change. I need to look it over before I send this to y'all because.
Thank you. I got it. Got it.
Okay, so looking at the page, it was page 14 of the packet, it just needs to be this paragraph.
That's it, that we just need a policy that says what our paid time off
Okay,
policy is so that I can get it to
Okay.
GTM.
I have one question, of course. I have one question, and is the So New York State we have to have sick leave for New York State too, correct?
Yeah.
It's either paid or unpaid, and if we're below a certain threshold, I think we're
Right.
right, it doesn't have to be paid.
Okay. So that's where the sentence that the 40 hours of sick leave could be taken out of the PTO.
Yes.
Okay,
So that would be unpaid sick leave, or that's paid sick leave
For the part-time employees, it's unpaid. I think with ours, with
for the full-time?
for the full-time, there's 40 hours of paid.
Okay.
No, excuse me. But for the part-time, they can use the PTO to pay for sick leave.
Okay.
so they call out sick for their 4-hour shift. Do you want to use your PTO for it?
Correct.
Do you not want to use your PTO? Okay.
Right. But it makes it, we have this
Right.
policy, GTN can track it, and it's.
Yep, let's, we need a motion to accept the proposed change as written.
As revised,
as
so moved.
revised. I'll, second, Sandy seconds it, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
This is the easiest policy we've had.
That really was.
Yeah.
And then we're pushing off the FOIL one, and then, is there old business?
Only the printout that Deanne gave us last month as a draft policy. Can this be our policy for next month, including the FOIL?
We could do that.
What
was the?
which was that?
The exempt employee comp time.
Oh,
As I looked over it, I just needed a little more time to research and
yes. Yeah, we did need to do that.
this would be a new policy for our library, not a revision. Right?
Show me again what that was, if you can mind. Yes, that's a new one, but that's part of my contract, so that,
Right,
we're not doing that yet. We're not even doing the contract yet. I've got it written, but it's not, but that'll apply for Annie as well, but yeah,
Okay.
that's pushed off.
and that. Okay,
Yeah, and I just had one, Ethan asked about the adding names onto the banner, and I did contact Ray Hart, which is, so it's her cousin, Inez Booz.
okay,
And she did say it was 500, I think like what Ted had said,
to do
add,
the
and that's-
additional work would
yeah.
be 500.
And I have a name and number.
Her name.
Well, I mean, Ray said she thought it was a name, but I think there's two names that
I
might have
think
been
we have
added.
two or
recently.
three. With Alexis, we have Veronica.
Marguerite's
And
there.
Right,
Margaret's up.
Marguerite's there, right, yeah. I mean, she said 500, so she thought it was a name, but I'm sure. That's,
Okay. So we have to think about whether we wanna do that. We should,
If she could do an official quote,
yeah.
I think that's
Right.
reasonable.
So we have, yeah,
so you want to contact her, so we have one to add.
I think we have two names,
Two? Who else?
Alexis and
Veronica.
Veronica.
Oh, and- okay, Veronica. So do you want me to contact her then?
yes,
To see?
yeah, then we just need it, we need a written vote.
Could someone please summarize for me, for purposes of the minutes, what the heck we just discussed?
There's a banner at the top of the wall that has the historic names of all the past librarians and library directors with their dates of service. And we would like to add Veronica and Alexis historically to that banner. And we're reaching out to a person who did the original paint job.
Thank you.
And we are not having an executive session, is that correct?
Correct, we do not need one.
Is there any new business?
Definitely not.
But look at me.
Sadly, you often come up with something. Okay, I make a motion that we adjourn.
At what time?
It is 8:38.
Thank you.
A second,
Second.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
And Annie.
Bye, Annie.
Okay. Oh my God, I'm freezing. Yeah.
So I learned Claire